Lights on. It's time again. "20 years. We create dream cars, generation after generation. We push ourselves beyond all limits. We take victories and write history.
Three-time champion.
What a great championship.
Together, we go even further. Are you ready? Bring it home. It's dreams that have fueled us across 2 decades.
Sliding through that mark.
Brilliant racing.
It's dreams that have inspired us, empowered us, and driven us to the next level. This is Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, driven by dreams. 2023 starts now.
欢迎大家再次回到上海国际赛车场，以观看亚洲保时捷凯拉杯2023年赛季第14回合的直播现场。尽管我们昨天已经敲定了我们的赛季冠军，恭喜来自美东车队的11号车手 Florian Latour。不过待会呢，第2名和第3名的争夺战想必依然会十分激烈，请大家敬请期待待会的精彩赛事。Hello everyone and welcome back to Shanghai International Circuit for round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2023 season. Firstly, I would like to congratulate to Florian Latour for Maiden Racing for being crowned as the season champion. But despite the season champions, we decided there will be a fierce battle between the 2nd and 3rd place in each category. Let's now welcome our pit reporter Steve Dawson to talk us through about that.
Good morning, Sammy. You're right. Actually, all of the 3 championships have been wrapped up in terms of the winner, but there's a couple of fierce battles on for 2nd place. If you think about the amateurs, there's only 7 points that separates 3 drivers hunting for 2nd. That's Wu Jiaxin, Eric Kwong and Li Yuanyu. And then at the top of the grid, it's just as exciting, actually. In the overall class, then, Chris van der Drift, he's got an 11-point buffer over Law Kai Law. But it's Kai Law who's on pole. Van der Drift is directly behind him in P3. We've got slightly more humid conditions than we had yesterday. It's about 70% overcast, I would say, Sammy, but really ideal conditions for these drivers.
I am sure our drivers are going to put on a good show later for this final round of the race. So thank you so much, Steve. Let's give it back to our commentators.
Well, as the guy said, it is just a little bit more overcast than yesterday. However, up in the Global Broadcast Centre, it's as temperate as ever. Hello, everybody. For the final time in 2023, it's John Hindhaugh to take you through the action. We are bereft of cars on the track at the moment. We've got our anniversary livery Taycan at the front of the field and just starting to see cars come through to the grid now. We've got a couple of takers and the rest of the field streaming out of the pit lane. We've already had one race this weekend. Let's remind ourselves of what happened yesterday. So the first of 2 races at Shanghai this weekend, it was a rocket start for Chris van der Drift from pole position. Literally everything went on behind him. Big drop down from turns 1 and 2 down to turn 3. Everybody just about made it. But then there was a mistake from the very high qualifying Bao Zhilong. He was just a couple of ticks of the clock away from a pole position. Locked it up at turn 6 and dropped himself into the pack. Then began a race-long drive back. Scott Hargrove right in the middle of it. The Canadian guest driver this weekend in the 188. Eric Kwong made a mistake, locked up his right front Michelin. That, by the end of the race, would cost him 2nd place in the championship. Wasn't the only one to make one or two mistakes though, as Bao Xinlong fought his way back through the field. But the big incident right at the end of the race, when second in the championship tackled the Scott Hargrove car, and Loki Low came off the worst at the front of the field. It was the pole sitter Chris van der Drift who won it. Second place was enough for Florian Latour to take the championship with a round to spare. Think we've got everybody out of the pit lane now. We have, as ever, a huge number of interested parties down on the grid. Here's Sammy.
Thank you, commentators. Now joining us on the track today, we have the Managing Director from Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific, Mr. Alexandre Jubon, and our very special guest today, the Porsche Endurance Racing legend, Romain Dumas. So good afternoon, gentlemen. It's been a thrilling season, and we are now here for the final race. Alex, I'm sure there's something we can expect on the track today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, welcome everyone. First of all, I think it's the last race of the season for the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. It's great because it's the first time that we are back in racing in Shanghai. The next time we will race here will be with Formula One in April. So Shanghai is always a great place to race. All the championships have been decided yesterday. So congratulations to Florian, Bao and Young for the titles in the different class. So I believe all the drivers today will have an extra motivation to shine for the very last one. So I'm very much looking forward for today.
I'm sure that's going to be the case. And by the way, since we are going to have a close to this 2023 season, I'm sure there's something exciting that we can look forward to the next season as well.
Yeah, a lot to look forward. I mean, first of all, it's racing back again here in Shanghai with Formula One, visiting 4 Formula One racetrack around the season, 5 different countries. So also we are expecting a lot more young drivers next year. So a lot of things to look forward for the season 2024. But 2023 for Porsche Motorsport is not finished yet. We have Macau in 1 month's time for the FIA GT World Cup. Where we're going to have some driver from the factory coming and supporting our customer team. So season is not over, but it's been a thrilling season for us, and 2024 will be even bigger.
I'm sure next season is going to be a greater one than the great season this year. So now it comes to our special guest, Romain. So this is your very first Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific event. So what are your first impressions so far?
Well, I have to say I'm really impressed. First of all, by the competition. You have all kind of driver, young superstar, pro-am, gentleman, but at the end of the day, a lot of racing, different category also, and you can see a lot of fight on track. So I didn't expect that, I have to say, but I'm very, very surprised, and I have to say it's the first time for me. Hopefully I will come back next year.
That's very nice to hear. So what do you think about the drivers in terms of this year for Carrera Cup Asia?
Well, you have the chance on the past that the one winner of your Carrera Cup even won Le Mans, so for sure he proved the competition here. It's very, very high. When you are in Europe, you are thinking, okay, China is far away, but at the end of the day, the result from your driver proves that the competition is very high, and I think it's very positive for your country.
Thank you so much. We're really happy to have you here today, and thank you so much, Alex, for your time. So viewers at home, please stay tuned for our next interview with our special guest as well. I'll throw it back to our commentators.
Romain Dumas, he doesn't know when to stop racing. He just races everything all the time. Sammy mentioned his legendary status. He is the outright Pikes Peak Race to the Cloud record holder. I was there. I saw him go up there. He broke 8 minutes, the only driver to do so. And that was in a full electric car, 7:57.1, I believe. And he was absolutely brilliant that year. The man is a legend. Here's another VIP with Sammy.
谢谢解说员。现在呢，我们就有请保时捷亚太区赛车运动官方车手叶一飞。一飞你好。
Hello， 大家好。
And we have
那一飞啊，这个上海国际賽车
on
场
the
是
grid
你
with
非常
Sammy.
熟悉的一个赛道。我想这个赛道对你来说应该有什么特殊的意义吧？
Does it have a special place in his heart?
中国车迷来讲都非常特别。
And Ife saying, I think Shanghai is a very special circuit for every Chinese motorsport fan. It is the country's #1 track. Remember, before it opened, there were no FIA Grade 1 circuits in China. This one really put us on the international motorsport map. That's one reason that makes Shanghai so special. But it's also the home of Porsche China. This is where the Porsche Experience Centre Shanghai is. And in the Jiading Comprehensive Bonded Zone is where Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific is based. This is the heart of Chinese motor, says Ife.
所有在场的中国的朋友们都跟你一样有同样的感觉。那今天呢，我们已经来到了亚洲保时捷凯莱拉杯的最后一场赛事，那你的感受如何呢？
Sammy asking about the final round and the impression of the final weekend. And Ife saying it's certainly been a tough fight all season and out on the track this weekend. The champions have secured their trophies, but as every racing driver knows, the race isn't over until it's over.
For you from Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific selected driver Ife Ye, we're looking forward to the race, so I'm going to throw it back to our commentators.
Still the battle for second and third on the championship podiums to go. Ife Ye saying there, just finishing off, saying he's excited to see the outcome of today's race. Well, it's 23 Celsius in the air, and as yesterday, virtually no wind and virtually no chance of rain, although it is a tad more overcast. That does mean the track temperature is a little lower than yesterday. It was 33 yesterday, it's 30 today. And the Michelin tyres, therefore, not having to work too hard. Yesterday, Florian Latour took a new set of tyres, got second in the championship, and second in the race, rather, which secured him the 2023 championship title. Chris van der Drift, with his win yesterday, leapt ahead of Lokelo for Toro Racing for second. It's a little more clear-cut in Pro-Am with Bajin Long. Didn't have a great race yesterday, locked up his fronts early on, ahead of Zhou Wang and Eric Zhang in third place. However, it's really tight. Yang Ryu has wrapped up the arm, but Wu Jiazin, Eric Kwong and Li Juanyu are separated by 7 points. And only 2 of those drivers can be in the top 3. Very tight indeed. So we'll have to get our shoes and socks off to do the arithmetic. Let's head down to the front row of the grid. Here's Steve.
Car number 99, Law Kai Law in pole position. Kai Law, first of all, just tell us about that spin right at the end yesterday. Everything okay? Not injured?
Yeah, actually I'm fine. The car is okay. Yeah, we just have different tires strategy yesterday. So I don't know what happened with my car's tires. So yesterday is disaster for me. But let's focus on today's race, and I try the best all the way.
It's all about the battle for second between you and Chris van der Drift. Will your team be updating you on what Chris is doing? Behind you, perhaps?
No, actually I won't, because I just focus on single race, and I just want to win it for the season.
Good luck today. Well done.
Lokelo in the best possible place to start, at least, off pole position. But Chris van der Drift is right behind him. Chris got a fantastic start yesterday and was not challenged at all. So that, I think, that left-hand side of the track, I think that is the best side of the track. Even though you'd expect, really, it to be the other side. Let's talk about the circuit. 5.4 kilometres, 3.3 miles, 16 corners, including that 1.2 kilometre long black back straight. That's 3/4 of a mile, isn't it? Overtaking down at the hairpin at turn 6, through 9 and 10, and into 14. We saw 1 or 2 people try it into 16 as well yesterday. Got to be a bit careful and make sure you get your exit speed right from the carousel through 12 and 13 because of that long straight. That's key. And track limits being watched at a number of places, including turn 10, the exit there, and of course the exit of turn 16. There's a bit of runoff there as well, a bit of AstroTurf that you can use. So the cars ready to roll off on their formation lap. I'm just checking to see if everyone is there, and they are. Teams have been cleared from the grid. And the marshal gives the final board from the front of the grid. This is not the start, this is just the sighting of the formation lap. So Loke Low in the GT Silver and multicoloured car on driver's left from pole position will lead them around, and that gives us the opportunity to look at the grid as they get rolling. And it is Loke Low from Toro Racing battling for second place in the championship on pole position. Ba Jinlong, best of the Pro-Ams. Again, a great qualifying from him. That was his second best time from the qualifying session. Yesterday's winner, and now a second place in the championship on the inside of row 2. Chris van der Drift has Martin Raginger, the evergreen Porsche driver, alongside him. Nazim Asman made a bit of a liar out of it yesterday. He's been making great starts in the Seamere Derby Racing Team number 17. He didn't yesterday. Florian Latour, his work is done for the season, but there's a bit of honour there for the Meidong Racing number 11 car. Gao Yuzhe in the blue and white 55 from Team Jebsen. Scott Hargrove over from Canada for Open Road Racing on the outside of row 4. Our winner in the arm category, Yang Rau, and our champion-elect is in the inside of row number 5 with Zhou Biwang for Porsche Beijing on the outside. Li Chao, Team Better Life, in 11th place, and on the outside of row 6, Eric Kwong, one of the drivers battling for second place in the AM category, along with Wu Jiazin, who is on the row behind in the number 5 car. Francis Chia from Trans China Automotive on the outside of row 7. Ji Ranju for Z-Speed Motorsport, the 188 car, on the inside of row number 8, also battling for that second position in the AM Championship. Jackie Wu in 16th position, the 69, qualifying from Jackie. It's not his favourite part of the weekend, but he really put a couple of decent laps together. Toro Racing's Eric Zhang and Hong Shizhe for row number 9. Karong Lee for EBM Giga Racing on the inside of row 10, with Zhu Jiao alongside in 20th. And John Shen makes up the grid in that spectacular flame-coloured Modena Motorsports number 16. That's how they line up for the final race of the season. Some weaving left and right down that long back straight to try and get a wee bit of heat into the Michelin tyres. Almost perfect conditions, a little bit of overcast. Almost zero chance of rain, although storms can blow up quickly here and bubble up quickly. But I don't think we're going to be bothered by that. What a great qualifying performance in that number 718 by Ba Jinlong. That is one of the Pro-Am cars, starting from second on the grid in both of the races. Single qualifying session, 2 laps. Your fastest lap set the grid for race 1. Second fastest lap for this one for the second race of the weekend. Just going through there, the zebra and blue number 61. That's the EPN Giga Racing Karong Lee in the AM class. Just waiting for all of the cars to form up. They're staying on the racing line as much as they can. For those that are on the left-hand side of the grid, they want to keep their tyres clean and hot. Just John Shen to come into position as for the final time in 2023. We wait for the green flag at the back of the grid. 21 Porsche GT3 Carrera Cup cars, flat sixes, ready to be revved within an inch of their lives. Hammer the rev limiter. Wait for the lights to go out. Second race at Shanghai is go. And it's a great jump from the front row from our pole sitter, Loke Lo. And a good start as well from Bajin Long in the 718, the chrome, silver and red car. 3 wide for a moment as Chris van der Drift tries to move forward and push his way through. Dropping down through turn 3 for the first time of acting. Asking, I'll get it right, 3 times a charm. Great start by Loke Lo in the pole sitting car, that mostly silver machine, the Toro car. That was where Bajin Long made the mistake yesterday and locked up the front wheels, which is exactly what somebody's done further back with cold Michelin tyres. Chris van der Drift sits in third. It was Eric Kwong. Oh my goodness. Eric Kwong came into the weekend in second place in the arm category. He lost that position yesterday with a mistake under braking, and he's already in trouble here today. That's huge for him. Scott Hargrove in the 88 having a look around our champion Florian Latour in the black and blue car. That is for 5th and 6th position. So what happened early on to Eric Kwong? He's about 3/4 of the way down through the field. Yeah, it's a big... it was a big lot up for... It wasn't Eric's mistake there. It was one of the cars behind him. He's got going again, just in front of the chase car. I'm looking at the right rear of that because there was contact. Huge amount of marbles offline here, and that's very brave indeed to go out onto there. And down the inside for the pink number 22, Yang Rao. And there's another problem, and that's Hargrove. Hargrove in the Open Road Auto Group, the Canadian champion in North America, IMSA racer. And he's gone at turn 14. Big flash of the lights from Florian Latour, who was trying to overtake down the back straight. So it's Loke Lo that leads from Bajin Long. Chris van der Drift, Martin Ragginger in 4th from Nazi Nazman. Then Latour, Li Chao, Yang Rao up to 8th position. Honshan Zhe right in there, along with Zobi Wong in the number 2 car. That's in 10th position. So everybody, I think, has come through the first lap. I'm pretty sure Eric Kwong, we're just waiting for him to come across the line, and yes, he has done. Chris van der Drift then battling for 2nd position in the championship with the man that's leading, and it was 11 points coming in, and if Loke Lo leads, he gets 25 points. It would be 3rd place for him. Actually, Bajin Long is not in the class, is he? So that's okay. Chris van der Drift will hold on to 2nd place in the championship. Now look, I'm doing arithmetic on the fly whilst watching and listening to Porsche race cars, so this is very much unofficial at the moment. Loke Lo down the back straight, letting the 507 horsepower do their thing. White numbers for the pro cars, red for the arm and green, red for the pro arm and green for the arm. Shanghai Honda, red, white and blue car. It looks blue and white from the front. That's Chris van der Drift. The number 8 turns into the final corner. Watch the track limits on the outside. Ooh, that was a bit tight for Martin Ragginger, close to the white line. Ragginger in the number 86 car with the red front on that. 17 coming through. There's Nazi Nazman. Loke Lo takes the fastest lap at 2:07.750. Move down the inside behind Yang Rao. That's Hong Shidze for Team C and D. in the 83 car, trying to move forward, and does. Then it's the team Jebsen, Gao Yujie, number 55. Always easy to spot the team Jebsen car, that very simple but effective blue and white colour scheme. Mistake from the team Better Life driver. Oh dear me, Li Chao. So easy to lock a front wheel going into turn 6, exactly what he did in that tangerine and black car. Great pack of Porsches battling for the bottom end of the top 10. That was 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th. Hong Shizhe moving forwards. That's 83 car from Team C and D, now up. Started the lap in 9th. He looks like he's going to finish it in 7th. Then the Team Better Life machine in this little battle pack, and it looks like Hong Shizhe is getting away at the front of the field, also beginning to make a wee bit of a break. 2:07.750 last time around, the fastest lap of the race for Lo Kelo. Yang Ryu defending to the inside from the 55 of Gao Yujie, down into turn 14 at the end of the back straight. Is it the old crossover move? Again, defensive driving by the pink and white car. Yang Ryu, both right to the edge of the track. That's okay though. Behind them, Zhou Biwang and Li Yuanyu and Wu Jiazin. 188 and 5. Li and Wu very much battling for second position in the championship. There's a big dive down the inside there, and that is a positional change. That's the Z Speed car. Oh, and a spin for our champion in the AM category, Yang Ryu. That was right at turn number 1 and 2. He's got it pointing in the right direction, but that means the AM lead's going to go to Li Yuanyu. No, it's not. It's good. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Scott Hargrove fighting his way back through the field as well. Was there a little touch there? There was. Oh dear. Now that could very well get Gao Yujie into trouble with the stewards. Just a little bump and run, but enough to unsettle the car ahead. Now setting about the Team Better Life car of Li Chao, who goes wide. Got the Z Speed car right in behind as well. That's the 188. That's a little bit of an overlap there as well. Leader goes through the back straight, side by side for Nazim Azam, and Nazim Azman goes through, I think, on Florian Latour. They're battling for 5th and 6th, holds on to 5th position. Azam there, as Latour comes through the corner and has taken that 5th position now at the final corner. It's the number 8 of Chris van der Drift battling with the chrome red and white Ba Jinlong. That is overall 2nd place, leader in the Pro-Am competition, winner of the championship. Chris van der Drift wants to get up the road and have a wee bit of a battle, I'm sure, with Lo Kelo, who's disappearing into the distance here. That little Porsche is getting smaller. The Toro Racing silver car is getting smaller and smaller. What a season it's been for Ba Jinlong. Not content with wrapping up the Pro-Am championship for Zhengtong Auto, he's been mixing it at the front of the field. A little bit of a slide on there for him as they come through turns 9 and 10, short straight to 11. Coming up now, oh, big cut from Chris van der Drift there as he tries to get on terms. Now to turn 11, the left-hander then swinging right through turns 12 and 13, the carousel onto that back straight. Does van der Drift get the exit speed right? Tuck up underneath that swan neck mounted rear wing of the Carrera Cup car, using the banking on the exit there. It is actually much steeper than our cameras show. Battle for second then is very much on. This is about honour here for the red car, because even if van der Drift goes through, it won't change the championship points, and it won't change the fact that he's the championship winner. But this is about effectively being on the overall podium. It was almost there yesterday for Bajinlong. Great battle behind the team Jebsen, number 55 car as well. That's at the bottom end of the top 10. That's Li Chao in behind, so that's 8th, 9th and 10th. Oh, and 11th there. Shobi One is right on the back of them in the number 2 car. That's the black and yellow machine. Also coming through the 188. Nice move down the inside into turn 1. That's Li Ranyu for Z Speed Motorsport. Don't forget this battle in the AM category. Scott Hargrove's coming back through that as well. He had the incident at turn 14 early doors. So Scott is fighting his way back. He's knocking on the door of the top 10. Meantime, the battle for second disappears to the far side of the circuit. Exemplary driving from Bajinlong under extreme pressure. He's having to take 1 or 2 little defensive lines, and that's allowing Martin Raginger and Florian Latour just to close down on them a little bit. The leader still quicker than the cars following. Turn 6 has been an action area all weekend, and that's Jackie Wu elbowing his way past Mujazin. Just about got it done cleanly. I used to say they've traded a bit of paint. It doesn't have the same sort of impact when you say they traded a bit of wrap, as these cars all arrive from Porsche Motorsport in GT Silver. The days of them all looking the same, thankfully for us commentators, long gone with the advent of some fabulous livery designs and wraps. Bit of a mistake coming out of the final corner for second place Bajinlong, leader in the Pro-Am category, well outside the lines of the track. That will be one of his lives that has been ticked off in race control. Halfway through the race. Does that say that Bao has just worked his Michelin tyres maybe a little bit too hard? Big mover early on as well. Into the top 10 for Li Ranyu for Z Speed in the orange 188. And that is the AM class lead now after the spin, or the assisted spin, I should say, from Yang Ryu, who is back up into second place in class, is he? Yeah, I think he is, yeah. He's got a whole gaggle of Pro-Am cars between himself and Li Ranyu. Second place is where the action is at the moment. Heading down to turn 11. Chris van der Drift has not been able to really get alongside Raginger. Took half a second out of the 2 cars ahead, and he's dragging Florian Latour, our 2023 Pro and overall champion. He's dragging him with him. I reckon we're going to have a 3 or a 4 car, probably even a 5, maybe even a 5 car battle for second place overall in a moment, because Nazim Azman for the Simir Derby Racing team is not a million miles away. Van der Drift has a little thing. Oh, covered to the inside by Bajin Long. He was defending fresh air there. I don't think he needed to come across as it compromised his exit. Here comes Van der Drift into the final corner. That's a tough overtake to make. Don't really slow down that much there. Can't do it. But at least Bajin Long stays on the track this time. Side by side, further back through the field, as Scott Hargrove moves up into 9th position. That was the Guan Yu, the green numbers signifying that's an AM class car, the Z-Speed machine. Flirting with the outside edges of the track as well. Behind them, it's Lee Chow for Team Better Life. 3rd in the Pro-Am class. So Hargrove up to 9th. After that incident down at turn 6. Meanwhile, in the battle for 2nd position, which by the way is just being dropped by Lo Ke Lo, almost 5 seconds now. Eric Kwong's recovering as well in the Pink Kitty World car. He's in behind Karan Lee, and they're battling for 17th, 18th and 19th. Is that Wu Jiazin? Yes, it is Wu Jiazin in the AM class. Now, that's not good news for Wu Jiazin and R&B Racing. That is a car that is in that scrap for 2nd place in the championship, which at the moment seems to be going the way of Li Huanyu, who is leading the category. The other 2 competitors that have the chance of 2nd place in the AM category, Eric Kwong, who at the moment sits in 6th place, and Wu Jiazin, who sits in 4th place in the class. And that's a big enough point spread, unofficially, to give 2nd place into the championship to Li Huanyu. Side by side for 4th position, and that is another place made up, I think. That's Florian Latour on Raginga, ahead of him now, that battle for 2nd and 3rd. So Florian Latour, not the best of starts. I wonder if he was just saving his tyres a little bit. He used a new set of Michelins yesterday. Tyres are not a resource that are endless here. So you have to make some tough decisions about when you use your tyres in qualifying. Back down the inside at turn 2 for Martin Raginga. Goes back into 4th position ahead of that black and blue championship winning car. This is a cracking scrap. 2 pairs of cars battling for 2nd and 3rd, and for 4th and 5th, just in behind the red and white car. That is Nazim Azman, Team Derby Racing Team, 6th position. Oh, lock up by Raginga at 6. That'll take him wide, and through goes Florian Latour. Can he convert that? He can, but down the inside, Raginga fighting back and goes back into 4th position. Wonderful stuff. This is the sort of racing we've come to know and love from Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Asman's right there, you know, if these 2 make any mistakes through turn 10 and onto the short straight. Here's Van der Drift, just hasn't quite got the overlap. Nazim Azman is there now. Azman right with Raginga and Florian Latour. Another good run for Nazim Azman. Well into the 2nd half of the race now. Coming into the last 3rd, in fact. What a run it's been for Lo Ke Lo, and this is all he could do to try and wrestle 2nd place away from Chris Van der Drift in the championship. Latour trying round the outside at turn 14. That's a bold manoeuvre. Now he's got to stick it out there, but Raginga just eases him gently, ushers him to the outside the track. Meantime, Van der Drift's going to do the crossover through the final corner. Here comes Latour on Raginga. Where do you look at the moment? Van der Drift, exactly as I thought, went in wide and came out on the left-hand side of the track. Will now try and do the same thing through 1 and 2 and tough it out on the outside. This is for 2nd place. This is a super manoeuvre, and Chris Van der Drift gets through, the New Zealander. Absolutely stunning move on Bao Jinlong. Van der Drift actually scored in second across the line, had the nose of his Team Shanghai Yongda Porsche ahead. But is it too late for the victory? Low now over 6 seconds further up the road. And Bao Jinlong is being caught now by Raginger, Latour and Asman. Fantastic stuff. What a way to finish off the season. And you might have thought this was a fairly dead rubber in terms of the championship, but this is the race that will end a lot of these drivers' seasons. You're only as good as your last result. Get all the cliches out, finish on a high, all of that sort of thing. This is what they're going to be remembering in the cold, dark, raceless months of winter before we reconvene here for the open test day next season. Team Jebsen, 55. Blue and white car, just chasing down Hong Shudze. Second in the Pro-Am for Hong Shudze in that multicoloured car, number 83. It's the Team C and D operated machine. Raginger, Latour and Asman still battling down to turn 14. Now let's see if Van der Drift, having cleared Bao Jinlong, has started to close down on Luke Lowe, the leader. Well, 2 tenths, but that's not going to be enough. With just under 4 laps to go. Keep an eye on that, though. I think Bao's going to be caught by this little battle pack, you know, even though they are scrapping among themselves. Not sure if what Bao's done to his tyres. Here comes the leader in the championship on Martin Raginger. Martin with a point to prove, maybe saying, look, you might have won the championship, but I'm not gifting you this 4th position. You're going to have to work for it. Raginger, defensive, into the turn 6 hairpin, goes wide again. He's done that before. He's flat spotted a tyre, hasn't he, that right front? And that's going to cost him now. And this time, Latour has made it and goes through into 4th position. Now, can Nazim Asman do the same thing? Every time there's hard braking now on the front of Raginger's car, that's going to be an issue for him. Check in with Li Chao, 3rd in Pro-Am, just outside the top 10 in the Team Better Life orange and black car. Behind him it's Zhou Biwong in the number 2. That's a battle for Pro-Am, and then Francis Chia and then Eric Zhang, all in the Pro-Am category, all battling for the last step of the podium in this, the final race of the season. So much on the line here in terms of just how you feel about yourself going into the close season. On this huge weekend for Porsche Motorsport, Carrera Cup Deutschland finishing off today. Also Porsche Deluxe Carrera Cup North America supporting Formula 1 at COTA. That's a bit later on today as well. You'll get that on the Porsche Motorsport channel, and miles off. Well, Eric Zhang taking an unconventional line there in the 77 Toro racing car. Always plenty of Porsche action, live and free across the world, of course, on the Porsche Motorsport channel. Across the line for the number 83, Hong Shudze, in that distinctive colourway of Team C and D. It's got the Gao Yuzhe driven Team Jebsen car. Championship winning team from a couple of seasons ago. Jebsen struggled a little bit to find the form here this year. Li Chao in Pro-Am. That is our 3rd place Pro-Am driver for Team Better Life. That's a dark blue, black and tangerine car. And then let's pick up the battle a bit further back. John Shane in the 16 has got the number 25 of Zhu Jiao right in front. It's the battle for 19th and 20th. Cycling through all of our drivers. We have R&B Racing as we're coming towards the end of the season and the end of this race. Chris van der Drift has knocked another couple of tenths off Loke Lo at the front of the field. Don't think he's going to have enough time though to pull it back. Another lock up from Martin Raginger down at turn 14. Nazim Mazman right there. Can't take advantage of it as they come through the final corner. 2:09.8 for Loke Lo, 2:09.7 for Chris van der Drift. So trimming tenths when he needs to be taking seconds if he's going to challenge for victory. Oh, what a big mistake by Nazim Azman at turn 6. That really has been the action area, hasn't it? The hairpin down there. Such a difficult place. You're turning and braking at the same time. Meantime, Yang Ryu, our AM champion-elect, with a little bit of pressure from Jackie Wu. This has been a great run from Jackie. This would be 15th position. Just proof that if he qualifies a bit further up the grid, he really can race with the best of them. Halfway round the final lap of the 2023 season, and Loke Lo has done the best he can to try and steal away second position in the championship from Chris van der Drift, but the 5-point advantage that he has over the Kiwi will not be enough. So tight at the top of the championship standings. Fairly lonely run down the 3/4 of a mile back straight, and Loke Lo will finish the season for Toro Racing with a victory. Actually going to make things pretty close in the prestigious dealer trophy as well. Toro Racing will get a bit closer to Maidong, but I think they'll win it. Black and white flag for somebody there, couldn't see the car number, but it matters not at all, because they've crossed the start-finish line for the final time of 2023, and it's Loke Lo for Toro Racing who takes it from Chris van der Drift. Bao Xinlong comes through in third position, winning in Pro-Am and just underlining his championship season and torturing his Michelins as he locked up in front of his pit crew. Florian Latour, our overall champion, comes through in fourth, ahead of Martin Ragging in fifth. Nazim Azman fought all the way to sixth. Gallier in seventh. Hong Shenzhe had a good drive through to eighth for Team C&D. Scott Hargrove had to recover after a spin early on, down in ninth. And the top 10 made up by our AM class winner, Li Guanyu, after a uncharacteristic mistake from our AM champion, Yang Ryu, in the pink number 22 early on. I'm going to leave other people to do the arithmetic. We're going to revel in the fact that Loke Lo has taken the victory in the number 99, subject, of course, to post-race technical inspections. That's Loke Lo's 5th race victory of the season. Took a couple in the season opener at Sepang, the second race in Korea, and the second race in Thailand. So won the opener of the season. Since then, it's been the second races of the weekend that have been the speciality of Lokelo. And my opportunity to congratulate our series champions as well as Li Wanyu goes a little wider than I think he expected. That's our AM winner. But well done to our season champions, Florian Lato, Ba Jinlong. They finished together on the circuit, actually, 3rd and 4th overall. And also Yang Ryu with, I think that might be his worst finish of the season, to be honest, down in 22nd. And he had a DNF in Korea, didn't he? And in Thailand. But has not really been off the podium that often. Other than that, in fact, I think he's only been off the podium once when he has finished the races. So that tells you about the season for our AM champion. Now, unofficially, I think Li Wanyu has gone through into second in the AM Championship, with Wu Jiazin in 3rd, and Eric Kwom, who came into the weekend in 2nd, I reckon he drops down to 4th position. Don't hold me to that. So coming back towards pit lane, Toro Racing's Lokelo. And there will be an awful lot of celebrating. Perfect way to bookend the season. 2 wins at the first race of the first race weekend of the year, and then the final race victory of 2023. Cracking looking calendar for next year, which includes 5 countries and 4 F1 tracks. I'm going to have it all for you again, live and free, with the World Feeds TV. I think Toro Racing are fairly happy with that. Fifth race win of the season for Lokelo. Congratulated by his team. We'll get a chat with him in a few moments' time. Did exactly what he needed to do, converted from pole position, drove away. So here are the unofficial results pending post-race technical inspection. Toro Racing's Lokelo finishes the season on a high. Chris van der Drift in 2nd. By my calculations, just half a second behind at the end as Lokelo slowed right off. But I think Chris van der Drift gets 2nd place in the championship there, ahead of Florian Lato. Ba Jinlong with a post-race penalty, pushing him down to 6th position. Interesting, doesn't affect the championship standing. So Florian Lato 3rd, Martin Ragging 4th, then Nazim Asman. Ba Jinlong still wins Pro-Am from Hong Shudze, but it was a little closer than I think they would have liked. Scott Hargrove back up to 8th. Li Wanyu, the best of the AMs, in 9th position, and the top 10 made up by Gao Yuzhe. Let's hear from Lokelo.
Car number 99, Lokelo, first in the overall category. Take us through it. It was a good start, wasn't it?
Yeah, I take a good start, but unfortunately we went off the grid a little bit, so we have penalty, and which is good. And all the race I control my tires, because yesterday I know the tires will drop very fast in the last few laps, and actually we managed the tires pretty well. Yeah, that's it.
It's all very well controlling your tires, but when you get a 5-second penalty, that means you have to put the pedal to the metal a little, don't you? Because you need to increase that gap to beyond 5 seconds.
Yeah, I know, because in last few laps I think my tires a little bit. It's a little bit bad, and I slow down a little bit, because if I push so much, and tires will finish so fast. And yeah, I know last few laps is 6 seconds. I just control my pace, and Chris won't catch me so fast.
Feelings about the overall season? It's been a great campaign from you. A joy to watch.
Yeah, actually, we have a good car for the whole year, but just last weekend, because it's a little bit disappointing. But for a win, finish the end of the season, which is nice for me. And yeah, I think I win five times this year, and I think it's same as Florian. So which is improving me. Our pace is pretty good. Just need to improve a little bit with the strategy for next year, and I will back stronger next year.
Kylo, we look forward to seeing you next year. Well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Low. So there's the answer. That's why he kept the pace up. A jump start penalty. So he knew he had to be more than 5 seconds at the end. Chris van der Drift was much closer than we anticipated, and certainly than looked on the track because of that. So the margin of victory down to just over half a second. I'd say that was perfectly judged though, wouldn't you? In Pro-Am, Bao Jinlong also dropping down right at the end in the 718 Pro-Am winning car. He's our series champion in Pro-Am this year, the 718 Zhangtong Auto back machine. Where did Florian Latour finish? He finished third. I think that's just enough for Meidong Racing to take the dealer championship. Well, let's go to the AM winner with Steve.
Li Xuanyu, we believe, has secured second in the amateur championship. Just tell us how it feels.
是我相信现在呢，你已经是业余组的第2名。那跟我们说说你现在的感受如何？
最后一场开的真的很开心，就积分不重要，真的开得很开心，很开心。对。
The points are not important, but he's really, really happy in the drive today.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that think the points are important. It's been a fantastic season. Looking ahead to next year, what are your hopes now?
那我相信呢，很多人也是这么想的。那明年你会有什么期待呢？明年的赛季？
希望今年年底能够更加勤奋的练习，然后明年能够去往上走的更多。
I hope I can have more practice, so the next year I can have a better performance.
Tell us who this young man is.
来，这是你的谁？
我的侄子，我的孩子在这儿，2个孩子。
Nephew and 2 sons.
Yeah.
Great day for the family. Many congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
再次恭喜。
谢谢。
So with that victory, I think Steve's right. I was doing it on the fly. Li Xuanyu, I think that's just enough to get second in the championship for him and the Z Speed Motorsport 188 team. It was a good drive through the field, 9th position overall. Now, Bao Jinlong is the only winner that we haven't heard from. He's a series champion as well for 2023 in Pro-Am from Zhangtong Auto. We'll grab him in a moment or two. So for the final time this season, we convene 21 Porsche Carrera Cup cars at Shanghai to finish things off. Great pole position win, great pole position start, and that turned into a 5th win of the season from Lo Lo in the number 99 Toro racing car. Was not troubled at all once he got into turns 1, 2 and 3. Began to build up a decent buffer. Now, Henry Kwong, who's battling for second in the AM category, was turned around early on. I think that was Eric Zhang who turned him round. And then Scott Hargrove was also spun. I think that was Gao Zhuzhe, Team Jebsen, who was in the middle of that. He also managed to dispose of Yang Ryu with the chrome horn as well. Turn 6 was the action area, a lot of people locking up, and for a long time there was a battle for overall second place between Chris van der Drift and the 718 Bao Jinlong. Behind them, Martin Ragginger, Florian Latour, our series champion, and Nazim Azman were scrapping for 4th position, and finally a mistake down at turn 6 cost Raginger. Zhang went wide and almost had to show his pass to get back in, he was so far off the circuit. And then Asman at the same place, turn 6. That was all going on behind our leader, who had to stretch out a decent lead after the jump start, and at the end he was 5.6 seconds ahead. With a 5-second penalty, that meant it was a half second or thereabouts win for Le Gelo. Another win for Toro Racing. So the season is completed for 2023, but already the calendar set for 2024. 5 countries, 4 Formula 1 circuits will be back here in March at Shanghai for the open test day before we are supporting the Formula 1 race here for 2 rounds. Then off to Suzuka in May, Buriram in Thailand in June. Looks like round about Le Mans weekend actually. 7 and 8 we're back to Thailand for rounds for those rounds, and then it's Sepang in Malaysia, Formula 1 support at Marina Bay, Singapore, and then back to round off the season again on this sort of time of the year, my birthday weekend next year, for rounds 13 and 14. 4 Formula 1 circuits involved in the calendar next year. And already, I'm told by Alexander Gibault, already the interest at an all-time high. What a great series this has been, and well done to everybody at Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific for keeping it going through the toughest times in 20 and 21, and how that has paid off in 22 and particularly here in 2023 with the international drivers coming back. Chris van der Drift second in the championship, Florian Latour winning the championship. Good to see Martin Raginger back, and Scott Hargrove just dipping his toe in this weekend as well, the Canadian driver for open road racing. Great to see. So the podium is set for the final time this year. We will have 3 podium ceremonies.
1, 2, check.
Sammy doing the formalities. And before that gets underway, let me very quickly say thanks to Sammy and Steve, and also to Mike and the team in production, as well as Lionel and everyone else who's helped me out this season. I've had an absolute cracking time, and a big thank you to Peter Mackay, who stepped in for me through the season as well. No need to worry about the race suits today. I have a suspicion that the champagne will be shaken and sprayed even more vigorously than normal as we celebrate for the 14th and final time for these drivers in the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. Just waiting for 1 or 2 errant drivers to get back up to the presentation area. Chris van der Drift already there, speaking with 5 times Le Mans winner Jackie Hicks. One of our Porsche legends here this weekend. 6-time Le Mans winner, I should say, Jackie Hicks. Derek Bell is 5, isn't he? The original Mr. Le Mans. Romain Dumas with us today as well. In the sunglasses, to the right of Alexandre Gibault. So some of the Porsche Works drivers, old and new, passing on the benefit of their racing experience to the current crop. Great breeding great breeding ground for new talent from this area of the world, and good to see them competing against the internationals now. Rising tide raises all boats, they say. And let's not forget Ifeye, the Porsche Motorsport Asia Pacific selected driver. Cracking season in the Le Mans hypercars last year with the 963 of Hertz Jota Racing. Wait to see if he stays with them next year. There's been rumours about him potentially moving on and racing with the full works team and with the Porsche Penske Motorsport team in the FIA World Endurance Championship. Those things, I'm sure, will be announced at our Race of Champions, our Night of Champions rather, later on in the year for Porsche globally. We'll also find out who this year's Porsche Junior Scholarship driver is as well. Time now for the formalities. Let's go to the podium and Sammy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2023 in Shanghai. 女士们、先生们，欢迎来到2023年亚洲保时捷凯拉杯上海站第14回合正赛的颁奖典礼。Now I would like to invite the winners of round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2023 in Shanghai for the M Class。现在我们开始颁发2023年亚洲保时捷凯拉杯第14回合正赛上海站业余组组别的奖项。Now let's welcome on the third place we have driver number 5 Wu Jiaxin from RMB Racing， 来恭喜第3名5号车手。And on the second place we have driver number 69 Jackie Wu from Shanghai Podium and Waigaoqiao 69 Racing， 来恭喜第2名69号车手。And on the first place goes to driver number 188 Li Xuanyu from Z Speed Motorsport， 来恭喜188号的李轩玉获得了业余组组别的冠军。And now we are glad to invite the Mr. Le Mans Jackie X to present the winner trophy。 来，我们现在有请勒芒先生 Jackie X 来颁发我们的第1名的奖杯，来恭喜李轩玉。Congratulations, thank you. And now we are glad to also invite Pikes Peak record holder, 24 Hours of Le Mans Nürburgring and Spa champion Homan Duma to present the second place trophy. 现在我们有请 Homan Duma 帕克风国际爬山赛纪录保持者、勒芒纽博格林及斯帕24小时耐力赛冠军来颁发第2名的奖杯，恭喜。And now we are also glad to invite the Vice President Marketing, Mr. Sky Chow, to present the third place trophy. 现在我们有请保时捷中国市场部副总裁乔佳琪先生颁发第3名的奖杯，来恭喜一下我们台上所有的车手们。And now let's take a group photo. So let's have everybody to come closer together. Xuanyu, make sure you hold the kids and the cup tight. Okay, let's now look at the camera in front. Like 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, everyone. All right, thank you, everybody. Now let's get ready for champagne time. 好，要准备香槟时间了，各位朋友们。
Well, I did say that I expected the champagne
好，来
to
再
be
次恭喜一下我
shaken.
们业余组的所有的赢家们，来恭喜所有的车手 ！Congratulations again to winners from the M Class.
We'll move quickly on to the Pro-Am category after we have reset the table. Reset the podium. Good to see the youngsters up there as well. It's like nephew and 2 sons, I think. We heard. Well, what an incredible season we have had. Going all the way back to our first rounds of the year in Sepang. All right, let's go back to Sammy for Pro-Am.
绅士组组别的奖项 ，Let's welcome the third place goes to driver number 9 Li Chao from Team Better Life。恭喜9号车手获得第3名。 And the second place, we have driver number 83, 洪世界 from Team C&D. 恭喜83号获得第2名。And of course, the first goes to driver number 718, 包金龙 from 正统 Auto. 来，我们的赢家是718包金龙。And of course, allow me to once again invite our award presenter first. We have Mr. Lemon, Jackie East to present the winner trophy. 我们再次有请勒芒先生 Jackie East 来颁发绅士组第1名的奖杯，有请。Thank you, Jackie. And next, we were glad to invite Pikes Peak record holder, 24 hours of Le Mans Nürburgring and Spa champion Romain Dumas to present the second place trophy. 再次有请帕克风国际爬山赛纪录保持者勒芒纽伯格林奇斯帕24小时耐力赛冠军 Romain Dumas 来颁发第2名的奖杯。And once again, glad to invite Mr. Sky Chow, the Vice President Marketing, to present the third place trophy. 再次有请宝协中国市场副总裁乔家琪先生来颁发第3名的奖杯，恭喜李超。Let's have everyone to join us on the podium for the group photo. All right, let's get everybody stand closer. Thank you for the fantastic race as we conclude the season. Let's pose for the photo. Get ready. 1, 2, 3. Once again, a big round of applause to congratulate our winners for the Pro M class. Thank you to all of the award presenters. It is time for champagne under this hot sun. Let's go!
I tell you what, not only are they quick on the track, but they're
nice
very quick with the champagne as well.
From the Pro M class, 来再次掌声鼓励鼓励给我们的绅士组组别的赢家们，恭喜恭喜！
Yeah, they can drink a bit of champagne as well as their driving duties are over. Awards ceremony to come, of course, this weekend. And then the Global Porsche Awards next month. November, is it? Or no, it's December, isn't it? Early December this year. Out at Porsche in Germany.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to invite the winners of round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2023 in Shanghai 40 overall class. 接下来让我们颁发2023年亚洲保时捷凯劳杯第14回合正赛上海站专业组别的奖项。Let's welcome on the third place, we have driver number 11, Florina Tour from Meidong Racing. 来恭喜第3名是11号车手。 And on the second place goes to driver number 8, Chris Van der Drift from Team Shanghai Yongda. 来恭喜第2名8号车手。And of course, the winner of the overall class for this round goes to driver number 99, 罗开罗 from Toro Racing. 来恭喜专业组别的这场比赛的冠军99号车手。And the dealer trophy winner goes to Toro Racing. 金香香奖杯来恭喜 Toro Racing. And now it is my pleasure to once again invite Mr. Lemon, Jackie East to present the winner trophy. 来，我们有请勒芒先生 Jackie East 来颁发我们专业组第1名的奖杯。来，掌声鼓励鼓励！恭喜99号车手罗开罗。 Now, I would also like to invite Mr. Kevin Gao, the Michelin China VP, B2C Marketing Director, to present the dealer trophy. 现在我们有请高总先生，米其林中国副总裁、市场部总监颁发经销商奖杯。And now we are glad to invite again the Pikes Peak record holder, 24 hours of Le Mans Nürburgring and Spa champion Romain Dumas to present the second trophy. 再次有请帕克风国际爬山赛纪录保持者勒芒纽伯格林奇斯帕20小时冠军，颁发第2名的奖杯。 And now, lastly, we're glad to invite Mr. Sky Chow, Vice President Marketing again, to present the third place trophy for the overall class. 来，再次有请宝协中国市场副总裁乔家琪先生颁发专业组第3名的奖杯。来，再次掌声鼓励鼓励给我们所有专业组的赢家们。Let's have a group photo together with everybody on the podium. Let's get your trophies up high. Big smiles, thumbs up under this clear blue sky. Ladies and gentlemen, overall class for round 14 of Porsche Carrera Cup Asia 2023 season. Thank you very much to all of our award presenters. This is our last round of champagne shower, so let's get ready for some celebration. Woo!
And I reckon with that result for Florian Latour, Maidong Racing are confirmed as the dealer trophy winners for 2023. Chris van der Drift in second in the Pro and Overall Championship.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Brilliant work by Sammy and Steve all season. My thanks to Peter Mackay, who stepped in for me, John Hindhoff in a couple of the rounds earlier on. And a big thanks to all of our camera operators and technicians, Mike, our director, particularly our audio team, and everyone who's helped us out throughout the year. What a fantastic 2023 it's been. Next year, bigger and better? Well, looks like it. 5 countries, 4 Formula One tracks, and more great racing, with 14 rounds of the 2024 season, which starts back here in Shanghai in April. See you then. Have a good Christmas and New Year. Bye-bye.
Lights on. It's time again. "20 years. We create dream cars, generation after generation. We push ourselves beyond all limits. We take victories and write history.
What a great championship.
Together, we go even further. Are you ready? Bring it home. It's dreams that have fueled us across 2 decades.
Sliding through that mark. Brilliant racing.
It's dreams that have inspired us, empowered us, and driven us to the next level. This is Porsche Carrera Cup Asia, driven by dreams. 2023 starts now.